All right, guys. So, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. This is awkward as heck. You guys remember we talked about the Kim and Kroy, so many ups, a lot of downs. Well, it just looks like they keep on coming. At this point, we're starting to question a lot of it, the credibility on both of them, considering Kim Zolciak recently just came out and said, "We're not getting a divorce. What are you talking about? We are still acting as a very married couple." Despite all the 911 phone calls, despite the filing for divorce, despite the canceling the divorce, they went to church and they were all better. But then lo and behold, they filed for divorce again. And Kroy allegedly threw a pillow on the outside of the front door and said, "Kim, you get to sleep here." Yeah, well, now Kroy, his attorney at least, has something to say about Kim's most recent statement. And we're going to give you an update. Before we jump in, do all the YouTube things, hit that like button, show some love, and let's get right into it.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Okay, so getting back to it. Do you guys remember when originally they were saying that Kim and Kroy, their home was going to be foreclosed on? And she went on and she did this whole thing where she's like, "Guess what, bitch? I'm not leaving anywhere unless I want to leave. I'm going to do Christmas in this house. I'm going to do holidays in this house. My kids' birthdays in this house. And think what you want, but I'm still going to be here." And then literally it was like a month and a half later, come to find out that the house was actually almost going to be foreclosed on. So it now, because of this, of course, makes you question the credibility. Well, then recently she came out and said, despite going through all of this, she said, "We are still very much so operating as husband and wife." She showed us a video of her shoe closet and her purses, when before she was selling a lot of her designer goods, her purses, and her wigs in order to maintain this lavish lifestyle. Well, Kroy was pleading with the court to please let us sell this house, help us get out of debt, and please put the money in a different account where we can't touch it. That way the debt is paid off before we get access to any money. I don't want her to be able to spend it. I don't want to be able to spend it. And she was gallivanting around LA. And she even did a video where she's like, "Yeah, guess what? Brielle paid the electric bill, bitch. How about that?" And we're like, "Oh, okay. Brielle paid the electric bill." Well, now Kroy's attorney is speaking out. And it's not in her favor. Kroy Biermann's lawyer, thank you, Page Six, is shutting down Kim Zolciak's claim that that they're working on their marriage. And, well, as you know, he filed for divorce for the second time. I spoke with Kroy regarding the reconciliation that Kim announced over the weekend. This is what Kroy's attorney said, and he told Us Weekly on Monday. There is no reconciliation. His resolve to see this divorce through to the end has not wavered. However, a source told the magazine that Kroy and Kim are all over the place and compared their marriage to a yo-yo that never seems to end. Neither Kim nor Bergstrom, who is also the rep for Kroy, returned Page Six request for comment. But the lawyer made the clarification after Kim took to her Instagram story last week to claim that she and Kroy were working on their relationship, which apparently is not true. "I'm living here and not going anywhere." She captioned a video of her shoe closet, "Been working on our marriage and have been living together as husband and wife. The lies daily are way too much." Well, they originally first filed for divorce from each other in May after 11 years of marriage. However, 2 months later, they both filed to dismiss their request, which obviously did not last long. But sources told Page Six at the time that the two had called off their divorce because they had been talking more lately and getting along. But the reconciliation only lasted a little over a month because Kroy decided to once again file to dissolve their marriage in August. That's only a month ago. Sources told TMZ that on again and off again couple allegedly had a blowout fight over finances that resulted in the retired athlete wanting to end things once again. And I believe that because if you guys remember the body cam footage from the 911 calls, you could hear her and she's like, "Get a fucking job, man up." And I told you guys, I can imagine how this argument would go because he's probably like, "I was on the Falcons. I had a career. I made a lot of money. You us, we spent it, but you wasted a lot of money, allegedly, on gambling, allegedly on alcohol, allegedly on crystals, allegedly on trying to maintain this lavish lifestyle. So I could see where he would be like, you get a job. I already brought in all the money. We spent it. Why don't you go get a job? And she's probably like, I've been on TV for over 10 years. You know what I mean? Oof. They've gotten ridiculously petty over who hasn't paid the bills. That's what a source told Page Six last month, and that they're counting down to pennies. But rumblings of Zolciak and Bierman's financial troubles had spread prior to their first divorce filing and have only continued to do so. Most recently, Bierman begged a judge to allow them to sell their $3 million home to cover their significant debt. Now, he also claimed that his estranged wife had sold her daughter's designer purses and other pricey items so that they would not have to once again put their home into foreclosure. But he argued that despite the sales, none of the money has gone towards the mortgage or any other bills. Kim Zolciak seems to also be facing significant financial issues, as Saks Capital One filed a lawsuit against her last month for allegedly owing a whopping $150,000, and Target National Bank also sued her in June after she allegedly failed and neglected or refused to pay her $2,500 credit card bill. This is just continuing to mount, but if you guys are wondering how she's doing these days, let's take a look. Money. Cha-cha-ching. Yeah. Okay. Let's also go over here. Glam.
Wow, look at this. Woo! A little pretty thing.
Yeah. So they're going to Jason Aldean concerts. They are still spending money based off of what it looks like. Who's this? Brielle Bierman and I had the absolute pleasure of meeting Doc Amen. We were both so excited to have our brains scanned. Well, this is obviously a promotion. So if people are wondering about this, I don't think that that's what this would be, something that they would pay for, because they do get a lot of promotions. But guys, I am just feeling like this is a roller coaster ride. Like when they called it a yo-yo, I don't believe anything that is being said anymore. I believe 100% this divorce is going to happen. I'm calling this now. This divorce is going to happen. It's going to get even uglier. Eventually, they're going to be fighting even more about the kids. I think that Kroy has a good head on his shoulder when it comes to feeling like this is a good way that we can navigate our significant debt by selling the house and making sure all of the money goes into, let's call it an escrow account. That way that money can be divvied up and all of the debt is paid before anybody walks away with a dime from that house. I think that's a very smart move, especially because after this, who wants to leave a divorce with a ton of debt? Hopefully they can pay that off, and even though it sucks and it's unfortunate, they can walk away without having the burden of being like, okay, not only did our divorce not work, we're splitting time with our kids, we lost our mansion, and we have hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. I think he's at least trying to rid the debt part of it. But this story is going to continue to develop. Guys, I want to hear what your thoughts are. I'm telling you how I feel about it, but go ahead and comment below. And again, don't forget that tonight we are going live at 11 p.m. Eastern. I am pinning that link in the comment section, and we'll see you then. Love you guys.